Are you ready to hear the mindset that sustains purpose for a lifetime? The second half of my conversation with our very special guest delivers right now. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Welcome back to my re-release of part 2 of my interview with world-renowned Francesc Miralles. Before we continue, I want to tell you why this second part of the conversation is worth staying for. If part 1 helped you recognize yourself in the story, the transitions, the shifts, the moments when something quietly stopped fitting, part 2 is where the conversation deepens. This is the part people often come back to, not because it gives answers, but because it changes how you think about the life you're living right now, how you spend your time, where your energy goes, and what actually matters when the noise falls away. In the second half of my interview with Francesc Miralles, there's a grounding wisdom that doesn't rush you, but it does stay with you. So if you're in a place where you're not just questioning what's next, but wanting your next chapter to feel sustainable, meaningful, and truly yours, you'll want to listen all the way through. Let's continue. So as I was reading your book, you've indicated 10 rules of Ikigai, which are outlined. And one of them is stay active, don't retire.
Mm-hmm.
And in my coaching practice, I guide people mostly in their 40s, 50s, 60s to find their Ikigai and to find their next and their transition years. So why is this area or this period in our lives, this later period in our life, why is it such a powerful time of our lives to find our Ikigai?
I think it's powerful because the life expectation has grown a lot. So 50 years ago, you retired and you needed a stock. You didn't have a lot of energy, and people went to some social club to play cards or domino, and that was your life
Yes.
in this third. But nowadays it's totally different. I know people who are 60, 62, 65 who can climb the Everest.
Yes.
So we have better nutrition. We have more attention to our bodies. People is practicing, I don't know, Tai Chi, yoga.
Yes.
They know, we know a lot about health nowadays. So it's quite possible that you retire and you have still 20, 22, 25 very good years.
Mhm.
So the question is what to do with all this time, because normally when you were younger, you were extremely busy with many things. Your job, taking care of your kids, then when the parents are there, taking care of the parents. So when there are no kids, no job, and no parents, you have an ocean of time
Yes.
to fill. And because of that, it's important to have two ikigais through your young life. Because if you are cultivating something different, for instance, if you work with figures, with numbers, with investments, but you like writing or playing the piano or, I don't know, taking photos of birds, when you are totally free, you can give much more time to this passion. But if you don't have nothing and you were always going to the office and then watching TV, you will sunk in a big void and you can feel useless.
Yes.
And many people happen that. My own father, he was working all his life in the same company.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like the job especially, but he knew the people. It was a good schedule, and he was forced to retire with 62 And he died 5 years after because he didn't know what to do with his life. He didn't find the motivation to meet other people.
Yes.
He was a very shy person also. But because of that, it's so important not to retire from the things you love and to see this golden age as an opportunity that you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of knowledge, maybe your financial life is solved. So now is when you can do the great things of your life.
You said exactly what I always say is that this stage of life is not a crisis, it's an opportunity. It's
Yes.
an opportunity to
As the Swiss said, and we are in Switzerland,
yes.
age is only relevant for cheese.
I love that. And we had a lot of cheese last night.
I think so.
That's wonderful. So just to ask another question, there's another rule of Ikigai that you shared in the book, and this is a concept called Hara, or maybe you have to tell me if I'm saying it right, Hara Hachibu?
Yes, this is something that has more to be with longevity.
Yes.
Hara Hachibu, actually, Japan is in the ranking, the country number one in longevity because of the kind of nutrition and of the amount of nutrition. They have this law of the 80%.
Yes.
Hara Hachibu means don't fill your stomach. You need to leave a bit of hunger for the next meal.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that they are dieting. No, it means that if you put to a Japanese person 5 little dishes and they have hunger for the 5, they will eat 4. And you keep a little hunger for lunch, for dinner, for the breakfast.
Yes.
And all the medical studies have proven that if you eat like this, your life expectation can be until 10 years more. Because it's like a car. If you have a car that can run 100 miles the hour, is it right? Because I don't drive cars. And you are always
Yes.
going to the maximum speed.
Yes.
The engine
Yes.
is going to get older, to get old much quicker.
Yes.
But if you are always between the half and the 3/4 of the capacity of the speed, then you can have this car many, many years. It happens the same with the human body.
Yes. Yes.
Digestion, it's related directly with the cell oxidation.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's makes complete sense. So I wanted to follow up with that because this is the Hari Hachibu is concrete, it's measurable. And also the Blue Zone researchers in Okinawa and in other areas, they track measurable things, right? They track like heart rate, they track macros and things like that. So this was a question actually posed to me from a younger person who said that if we wanted an equally tangible measurement for Ikigai health, like what would that be? Like could we actually measure it like tangibly, like Hari Hachibu or
How to measure the Ikigai?
yeah.
We can measure it with the first circle, with the concept of flow. Normally, when you are working in your Ikigai, time flies. So for a jazz musician can be playing 3 hours, and the psychological impression is that you were 3 minutes there. So when you are doing something without effort, it's easy to keep the focus. You are not tired, and you feel totally fresh after that. It's that maybe you are 100% in your Ikigai. If you are looking at the clock and you are projecting your mind to the past, to the future, maybe this is not your ideal activity, because normally when you do something that you love, that is your passion, you would want that the day has 48 hours.
Yes. So it's kind of like time and flow?
Yes, it has to do with time, with flow, and with the feeling that you are contributing to the world. Human being, I know that nowadays there are many wars and many ugly things happening,
Yes.
but I believe strongly that every man, every woman, even the ones who do terrible things, they want to be useful to the others. We are born for that. When we are children, we want our parents to be happy with us and that the teacher is proud of us. And
Yes.
when we are adults, the same. But the problem is that many people don't know themselves, or they are contaminated of other things. But actually, you cannot be happy if you don't feel that what you do is important for the others. And the older you are, it becomes more an existential question because you want to leave a legacy. And so you put yourself the question, how will I be remembered when I am not here? And you want to be remembered for having done good things for the others.
So that's measurement. That could be.
That's
Yes.
something to measure it. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting question.
You can ask yourself, this activity give me a lot of flow? Yes. Do I feel that I grow with this activity? Yes. Do I feel also that I contribute to the world? Yes. If you have the 3 ticks, then it's an Ikigai.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, I think that was very important because when this younger people, they really like to calculate things and it has to be measurable. So it's like that's important. And along the lines of flow, you had said in the book that the happiest people are not the ones who achieve the most. They're the ones who spend more time than others in a state of flow. So I had this question come to me is that how can in a modern society, achievement is often everything. So how can we reconcile with that?
It depends on what is achievement for you, what is success. Once I was asked what was my biggest success in life, and the journalist was very surprised because I didn't say, I have my book translated in 70 languages. I have sold 6 million copies. I said, the biggest success in my life was that when I started having a little money, I could invite my mother to go together to London. and that was the dream of her life because she was from a very humble family and my mother was already quite sick, but we could do it. We could do it with taxi. We could manage. And these 5-6 days were the best of her life. He said, this is success when you can make other people happy.
That's so nice. That's very touching. And it's your definition of achievement.
Yes. Achievement is to be important for other people, that your life counts. So there is a song, a Catalan song that I like very much. And this song says that the best thing that can happen to you in life is that people laugh when you arrive and they cry when you leave. I think this is a good philosophy. Yes.
Wonderful. How do you say it in Spanish?
In Spanish, lo mejor de la vida es que rían cuando llegas y que lloren cuando te vas. I know that many people can understand Spanish.
Yes, that's why I asked. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. Francis, you talked about Viktor Frankl a little bit earlier, and in his philosophy, logotherapy, or his school of psychology, he wrote in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he said that he who has a why to live for can bear almost any how.
Yeah, it was a quote from Nietzsche that he liked very much, and he popularized in his book,
Yes. So I'm going to translate this again to the modern world, and that we're so worried about the how. So how do we do this? How do we forget the why? So how do we go back to focusing more on?
Yes, actually, we can take this model of Simon Sinek that is called the Golden Circle that has a lot to do with that. He says that in the pyramid of Ikigai, we could say that there are 3 levels. A company or a person can know what they do. You can say, I do this. I make computers. Okay, this is the first level. Second is how. You can say, we are doing computers with these levels of quality, this. But the powerful activities are the ones ruled by the why. We do this because we want the world to be another way. And the beginning of companies like Apple, when Steve Jobs was there, the why was very strong. Everybody in the company knew why they were doing things differently, and the customers knew it too. So when a purpose is very big, it comes from the company to all the clients, and then it's almost a religion. And you know that who buys an Apple phone or computer is very difficult that change to another brand. It's as difficult as being from Football Club Barcelona and changing to Real Madrid.
Yes. And if you translate that to individuals, I find that many people who come to me here, that I come across, they do things because they feel they have to, or that because other people do it, not because they want to do it. I think they've lost their why a little bit.
I think we must distinguish your own priorities, your own wishes and desires from the second-hand ones, the ones who come from your family, from society, from your friends. For instance, if you're raised and you are born in a family of doctors, you will have a big pressure to do the same. But maybe you have an artistical soul or another direction in your life, and then you have to fight about all these expectations. And it happens also in the group of friends, with your couple. Maybe your couple wants you to be something else, wants you to be successful, and you just want to be happy. So you must fight for your own identity and authenticity.
I think, and then that will drive, like Viktor Frankl says, it will drive you to bear almost anyhow. Yes, wonderful. So do you have anything else, Finn?
No, it's perfect. You are conducting this with a perfect structure.
Okay.
You are very good in storytelling.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I wanted to go back to flow if we could in the book. And I encourage anyone listening that if you haven't read the book, please do. There's several strategies to increase the chances of flow. The first is to choose a difficult task, maybe not too difficult, but difficult enough. The second is to have a clear, concrete objective. And the third is to concentrate on a single task. So in your opinion, in the modern day world, modern professionals, what do you think they struggle with the most out of those three?
We struggle with time and with multitasking, above all.
Yes.
You want to do so many things at the same time that all of them are poorly done. So if you are trying to listen to a friend and you are looking at your smartphone and your head is on what you need to do tomorrow, you are not anywhere of these places. So you need to focus. And people have lost a lot of attention. Even intelligent and cultivated people, many of them are unable to read a book nowadays because the span of attention is so short that you cannot be in the same page more than 20 seconds. So we must re-educate our brains for that.
What would be some examples of micro habits that you could use to
micro habits, for instance, doing only one thing at the same time, and it means a bit of digital diet. So not to answer emails and messages in real time. To have your schedule, to say, okay, from 9 to 10, I'm going to answer. And then from 2 to 3, and from 7 to 8. And in the middle, I will be totally focused in what I do. Nobody's going to die if I answer a WhatsApp in 5 hours. And it's good for them because if you are always answering in real time, if you are not answering in 10 minutes, they think that something happened. But if you get used that you are answering late, they can relate with you in a more relaxed way. They say, okay, I am going to say that, but don't expect anything until tomorrow.
That's good. That's the expectations.
Yes, that's the expectation. So it's good to live in a slower way so that the important things can be in the center.
Yes.
You know that Stephen Covey said that in life there are two kinds of things that we do: urgent things and important things. What is urgent is important for a third party, not for you. And what is important for you, you normally procrastinate it. Because you say, when the urgent things finish, then I will do what is important for me. But the urgent things never finish. There are always tasks and more tasks. So you must balance your life now, and some people must wait, or maybe you must delegate, or you must say no more often.
Prioritize. It's mentioned to me, you gave me that advice for myself.
To be realistic with your agenda and with your time. You cannot be everywhere.
Right.
So sometimes you must deceive some people.
Yes. And I remember you gave me that advice about writing. Like if I want to write a book, to write.
Yes, my piece of advice for new writers is, as I understand that they have a profession and they have family, they have obligations at home. start with the writing. Wake up at 6 and write from 6:30 to 8:30 and do only that. And after 8:30, let the work begin.
Yes.
And then you have accomplished what you decided, your compromise with yourself.
Right, right.
That's the way to do it.
Right. So
put the most important thing in the beginning.
Yes. Yes, that's very important, especially if you're a morning person.
Yes. Yes.
So these days, what would you say is giving you most flow? Is it, I know that you're a musician as well, you're a writer. What makes you most in flow these days?
I like very much reading.
Yes.
I like very much going to small concerts. Always when, for instance, when I am in United States, I was in Los Angeles in May. I was in all the important jazz clubs to see who was playing there. When I go to New York, I go to little bars where new bands. So
Yes.
I love to discover talent. And for instance, when somebody writes me, if what this person has written is brilliant, I like to give feedback and to say, I think you could do something with that. This is a passion that I have to
Very generous. Yeah.
to discover
Yeah.
maybe hidden gifts, because many people have these powers and they don't think it's important. They think that everybody has the same capacity, and it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yes.
A friend of mine says that I am a rainmaker. That's a very nice word. I don't think so, but I like to see new possibilities where other people think that there are limits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that you do that, it encourages other people. That's a very unique quality.
Yes.
Not a lot of people do that. So that's wonderful. That's really great. So I guess one probably last question would be that you say that there's no perfect strategy to connect with our Ikigai. You described what you learned from the Okinawans and that we shouldn't worry about finding it because life is not a problem to be solved. So you did your research, you found that the Japanese, they were rooted in very simple things like gardening and community work and volunteerism.
Yes, but the Japanese of these rural communities, not the Japanese person in Tokyo. In Okinawa, yes.
Yeah. So that would be my question is like, now that how can we adapt Ikigai to our modern society? Because we don't live that life.
Of course, it's more difficult. Actually, during the pandemic, many people changed city for a more natural environment that is cheaper. You have more space, you have trees, and life is slower. Than if you still live in the city because you need to do it, because of your job or your children are studying anything, you can include some of these habits to your life. For instance, waking up early and doing things that nurture you. We were talking about writing, but maybe what you love is meditating, it's reading. I know many people who start the day reading with a cup of tea. And this is a very quiet way to start the day. So you start inspired. So you can have oasis, moments of quietness, even in the city. And to put limits to the hours you work, to the hours you are connected, going to parks, going to nature. Why not to take your book to the park and you eat your lunch there and you're reading and listening to the birds, and then maybe in the evening you go for a walk. So it's possible to adapt a little bit that. And in the weekends, the Japanese, they have the concept of Shinrin-yoku, that means forest bath, that people who live in the cities and that they are very busy, very stressed, one day, Saturday or Sunday, they go to the forest and they walk and they recover spiritually from that. If you do it every week, then you can have a balance with the city life.
Those are really great examples because I have a lot of people who approach me, and this word burnout it's becoming, I think, more and more common. It's like people are burnt out from their work, from their lives, the busyness. So even implementing some of these things daily, it doesn't have to be all at once, but daily, like you said, it really does. I think it would help with avoiding that burnout. Any other examples? Or
there are many things we can do. Of course, habits have a lot to do with the clock. So the chronobiology, that is a new branch of science It's exploring what happens between the inner clocks and the outer clock, that is the light. So we have inner clocks, that is the heart, the sleeping times, the hunger. So if you are doing things always at the same time, you help your body to live longer. For instance, if you wake up always at the same time, you have breakfast at the same time, and lunch and dinner not too late, and you go to sleep every day at 10, you are going to be much healthier and with much more energy than if one day you don't have lunch, the other day you go after 12, the other day you wake up at 4 because you need to do that. So actually the body loves regularity.
Yes.
And so if you are going to train your body to be 100 and more, you need to live like the people who are in places like Okinawa and wake up with the sun, and they have very regular times for doing things.
Great point. Wonderful. Just wondered if you might have just some words for most of the women or people who are listening to this podcast tend to be women who are in transition in one way or the other in their life, whether in careers or in their life, and they're often quite afraid or are not confident in themselves. Mm-hmm. What would you say to a listener who might be in that situation? What would your advice be to them?
Which situation?
Like if they are in a they're wanting to do something, they wanted to follow their Ikigai, but they're afraid. They don't have confidence.
The first thing they need is to give time to themselves. Yeah. So normally we are giving time to anybody but ourselves. Yeah. So if you feel that you have a very busy life, you are overwhelmed, you are very tired, and you don't know what to do, then you need at least to have 1 hour a week for yourself, in which you go to your favorite cafe or to the park with your notebook and your pen, and this hour is for you. And then make an analysis of what could you do better for your life.
Yes.
And if it could be half an hour a day, even better. So yes. Actually, any change comes from the emptiness. If you are always full of activities, it's impossible to change. Mm-hmm. But if you keep some empty spaces,
yes,
new ideas will come. You will be aware of what is yes, what is no. So what you need is time for yourself.
Yeah.
And to put it in your agenda with the same importance as if you were visiting the doctor.
Yes. Yeah, it's time to rediscover yourself.
It's a sacred time for yourself.
That's wonderful advice. So, Francis, what are you looking forward to now in the next little while? What have you got planned?
Now I have a couple of lectures to give. I must go to Chile. I am going a lot to Latin America, South America. And after that, I am looking forward to spend a couple of weeks in nature with my son in Galapagos Islands.
Oh, wow.
In Ecuador.
That's amazing.
Yes, I would love to do that. It's good that when we are living in the city,
yes,
our vacation is not in another city. So go to the green, go to the sea, relax, learn from other people who live in a very different way, and learn from the animals also. They know how to rest. I live with a cat.
Oh, yeah.
And when the cat rests,
yes,
he does it absolutely with total concentration in that. And then because he can rest such in a radical way, when he needs activity, he has all the energy to jump there.
Yes. We can learn a lot.
We can learn a lot from them.
And is there another book in the works for you?
We are working with Hector Garcia about the last book of Ikigai that has to do with profession, but maybe it will be published in 1 year, more or less.
Oh, wonderful. Looking forward to that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
For being so generous with your time and giving us so much knowledge, and your feedback and telling us about your life too is very enlightening.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this second part of my conversation with Francis Miralles as much as I did. What a masterclass in Ikigai. Let's summarize 4 main takeaways that you can practice today. Number 1, Hara Hachibu. Stop eating at 80% fullness to lighten your digestion and lengthen your life. Number 2, flow audit. Track tasks where time evaporates and aim to spend more daily minutes there. Number 3, structure single tasking. Batch your email and messages into set windows, preserving uninterrupted blocks for deeper work. And number 4, honor the sacred empty space. Schedule at least 1 you hour weekly. No agenda, just reflection to let your new Ikigai ideas land. If this 2-part series resonated with you, please do rate the show or share with someone who's navigating change. It really does help spread our messages out, as well as the wisdom of my incredible guests like Francesc Miralles to the world. As I shared in part 1, if you are navigating your own career or life transition and are wondering what's next, or you're curious how to find your own Ikigai, reach out to me today at kavita@itsmytimenowcoaching.com. I'm here to help you distill your greatest strengths, passions, and values, and identify what you can do to bring your uniqueness into the world. Let's find your reason for being together. And until next time, stay well and remember to approach your next steps with purpose.